Flat Elephant Workouts, and today we're going to be doing a specifically floor-based workout. A lot of you have always mentioned that you prefer abdominal exercises, and while you can certainly get a good workout from standing, I thought it would be good to do this one right from the floor. The moves are Pilates based, not specifically classical Pilates, but you're definitely going to feel that vibe throughout. We're going to get started just by warming up, and I'm going to come right down to the mat to do that. So you don't need anything except a mat or a soft surface floor. Go ahead and come all the way down, leaving your feet on the floor, knees bent, and we'll do a little bit of an arm warm up just to get the arms ready for assisting you in the movement. So go ahead and just circle your arms around. Breathing in as you bring the arms around, pulling your belly into the floor as if it could touch your spine. And go ahead and reverse your circles. So bring your arms down by your legs, up and around, just working out those kinks that you might be feeling from a little bit of stiffness. And we'll take it around one more time. And go ahead and bring your knees in. So your shoulder blades are still on the floor, but we're just going to gently grab the knees, alternating sides. Not really stretching your legs out too much, keeping them bent, bringing them just slightly over your hips every time you release. And a couple more. All right, and one more. Go ahead and bring your feet back to the floor. Arms are about diagonal, extending out from your body, and just open and close, butterflying your knees so that your hips can get a little bit of stretching. And relaxing your shoulders as you do these butterfly moves. Now we're going to bring both of the knees back up and extend your left leg down. Go ahead and lift your right leg and just make a small circle with your knee leading, just about the size of a small clock that you might find in your bathroom or whatever space you have that little clock. And then reverse. So just feeling that little rotation in your hip socket. I have a lot of creaking, maybe you do too. That's why we want to wake up the hip sockets. And one more. And go ahead and place your right leg back on the floor. Release it all the way down. Bring the left foot up. Pull your lower back into the floor. And then go ahead and start your circles on your left side. Now, as always, this workout is going to be about 12 to 15 minutes, so we will not be here for much longer. Go ahead and reverse your circles. My left side is always a little bit more stiff than the right. And one more around. And go ahead and bring your foot back to the floor. Bring your right leg back up so that it's parallel with your left. And hands are going to come completely down by your sides. So from here, we're going to work the lower abs and make our way up. The first thing we'll do is bring your right leg all the way down to the floor, flexing your foot, and then bring it right back. And we switch to the left. And up, and right, and up. Keep alternating sides, and right, and left. See if I can get that music playing again. And switch sides, down, down, and one more each side. All right, so we have one more exercise to work our lower abdominals. Go ahead and bring your right knee up to right over the hip. So your knee is right over, left leg is going to stay on the floor, and we're going to extend your right leg out and pull it back in. Extend, and every time I'm extending, I want to flex my foot, just so our leg is getting a little exercise here as well. Inhale, exhale in, pulling that belly right into your spine again. And you'll definitely start to feel this in your leg muscles as well, but we want that full extension. And my foot is hovering about 4 inches or so from the floor. If you need to keep it a little bit higher, then by all means do. You will definitely start feeling this in your lower abs. And go ahead and bring it in. Same thing on your left. So again, we're going to extend, pull it back over the hip, extend, flexing your foot, pulling back. You could keep your foot in that flex position the whole time if you'd like, or you can give it a little break when you bring it back up. Keeping your belly pulled into your spine. And extend, and here, right about here, I'm starting to feel it in my lower abs, which is exactly a good sign so that we know that we're working those lower abdominal and pelvic muscles. And last 2 and 1. All right, go ahead and bring it in. Give your legs a little squeeze by bringing your knees into your chest. And release. That feels so good. All right, so we're going to bring it into a oblique part of our exercises now. And to do that, we're going to bring our hands up above our head. Now my elbows are completely extended out to my right and left. So you should really feel your shoulder blades kind of open on the mat behind you. And I want us to start by just lifting in center. So let's just practice a few of these. So we're going to keep our head heavy in our hands. Keep the elbows out to your right and left. And up. And again, lift. Lift. Maybe getting the shoulder blades a little higher. And 1 more. Okay, bring it all the way down, but keep your hands right there behind your head. So my fingers are clasped together, making a nice little basket for the back of my head. Lift now and rotate so that you are in a tip over position from the floor here, and then bring it right back to center. So we're going to come down to your right every time. So we lift, tip, and you just kind of feel that little side crunch and see how that feels. Hopefully you did not drink a lot of water before you put your video on here, because you will start to feel a little bit of that sloshing feeling in your belly. Biggest key that I can tell you for these, because you will feel them very quickly, is keep your head as heavy as you can in your hands. Let's do 1 more on this side. And go ahead and release back to the floor. Go ahead and release your arms as well, taking a nice T stretch. And what we're going to do is walk your feet in closer, knees pressed towards each other. We were going over to the right, so I want to drop my knees over to the left. And the biggest thing you want to feel here is the nice stretch in that oblique area. Don't worry if your knees are not going completely to the floor. Take a nice deep breath in, and then we're going to bring the knees up to center. Exhale, lifting back up. All right, so we're going to do the same thing now over to our left. So again, we want a big tight clasp with our hands. Lift your head and drop your head right into your hands. Keep your hands nice and tight together like a finely woven basket. Lift in center, and then we tip to the left, back in, and down. Now it's hard for you to hear it but I'm trying really hard because I want to keep my breathing here. So I inhale, tip, exhale, back to center, and down. Remember, we want our head to stay heavy in our hands. And down. Tip. We've got a couple more because I'm really starting to feel that side work. Lift, tip, and one more. And down. All right. Again, tee your arms out to the sides. Big deep breath. Walk your feet in and then drop your knees over to your right this time. And go ahead and bring it right up to center. Now the last thing we're going to do is bring our hands by our sides. We're going to be lifting our chest up off the floor, and this time we will not have our hands to support us. So let's try a couple, see how you feel. Arms are extended above your head, my palms are facing up. And this is actually a big steal from Pilates because we're doing a hundreds prep. So nice straight arms. Arms come around. We lift the chest in line with the arms coming right down by your hips. And then go ahead and bring it back. So on your next 9, go ahead and add that breath work in, and you'll hear me doing that as well. And back down. And ideally, the deeper we can take that breath, the higher we can lift. And down. And I believe we have 3 left. I always tend to overcount. Oh, but that will be just enough. Big inhale. Exhale up. Big inhale. Last one. And go ahead and release down. It did hold us up there for an extra second or two. But if you came down before me, no worries. Again, squeeze your knees into your chest. And the last thing we're going to do to finish, let's first bring our legs up, take a nice little stretch. All right. When we flip over, we're going to come into a table position. So go ahead and flip over. All right. So hands are placed right underneath your shoulders here, and I have to always make sure I have room behind me because I do have that wall in back of me. From here, we're going to step right out into our plank. So go ahead and step your right leg back. Toes are supporting you. Nice straight leg. Left leg comes back, and we hold right here. 8 and 4, 3, 2. Slowly bring your legs back into that table position. Round your back, head drops down. And then back into your table position. Just kind of open your knees up just a little bit and sink back down, stretching forward. And then we're going to come right back into that table position one more time for another cat stretch. So we bring the knees back into center, head drops down, because I'm really feeling that in my neck today. And release back to your flat back. Bring your toes back into the floor, but really push into your feet, bringing your hips completely upward for a nice little stretch. Walk your heels. And then walk your hands all the way in. hang out a little bit right here and slowly roll up. All right, excellent job. So we ended up in a standing position. You could certainly come down to the floor and take a few more stretches if you'd like. But hopefully you feel like you got a really nice, good abdominal exercise from this. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you soon.